Imagine standing before a wall of stone so massive, so perfectly placed, that even modern engineers pause in disbelief. Imagine looking up at a monument built thousands of years before cranes, before machines, before steel, but built with such precision that a single sheet of paper can't slide between the stones. How? Why? And perhaps the strangest question of all, what drove ancient civilizations to create structures so colossal that they still dominate our imagination today? For thousands of years, megalithic structures, massive stone monuments, have been rising from deserts, jungles, and mountains as silent giants. The pyramids of Egypt, Stonehenge in England, Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, the giant walls of Sacsayhuaman, the mind-twisting precision of Puma Punku, all whispering the same message: we were capable of far more than you think. But the mystery is not only about the stones themselves, it's about the minds behind them. When archaeologists first began studying these structures, they expected to find primitive tools, simple methods, and basic designs. Instead, they found unimaginable sophistication. Civilizations that supposedly lacked wheels, iron tools, or advanced mathematics were somehow aligning monuments with star patterns, tracking solstices with pinpoint accuracy, and transporting stones that weighed more than commercial airplanes. Let's start with one of the biggest puzzles. How did ancient builders move stones weighing 50, 100, even 800 tons? Some of these stones were transported across mountains, rivers, and deserts, sometimes from quarries hundreds of kilometers away. No roads, no engines, no metal machinery, and somehow the stones arrived, perfectly shaped, polished, and placed. One theory suggests massive teams of workers pulling ropes and rolling logs. Another theory argues that water channels may have been used as floating pathways to reduce weight. But then we look at certain megaliths, like the giant stones of Baalbek in Lebanon, and suddenly the theories collapse under their own weight. Some stones weigh over 1,000 tons. That's the equivalent of lifting 150 African elephants at once. Even with modern cranes, moving a block like that would be an engineering nightmare. So if these ancient civilizations weren't using modern machines, what were they using? Perhaps the key lies not in technology, but in organization. Some researchers argue that these societies were masters of teamwork on a scale we can barely imagine today. Whole communities would unite for years, sometimes generations, to build a single monument. They worked with purpose, with coordination, and with a level of planning that modern cities struggle to achieve even with computers. But construction is only half the story. The question remains, why build them at all? Why would civilizations with limited resources pour enormous time, effort, and human power into shaping stones so huge that they would outlive the people, the kingdom, and sometimes even the civilization that built them? Some structures were astronomical calendars, giant observatories carved in stone. Stonehenge aligns perfectly with the summer and winter solstice. The pyramids mirror the stars of Orion's belt. Ancient temples in Cambodia align with solar events that track agricultural cycles. These were not random constructions. They were giant instruments mapping the sky. Other structures were built for reasons of identity and power. A king who could command thousands to move mountains, literally, proved his authority beyond question. A civilization that could manipulate stone on a monumental scale sent a message: we are strong. We will endure. In some societies, megaliths marked sacred landscapes. They represented the boundary between the living and the spiritual world. They were places of ceremony, initiation, prophecy, and connection. Not all were temples. Some were ancient libraries carved in stone, records of cosmic knowledge and cultural memory. But beyond the mystical theories, one truth keeps resurfacing. These monuments were built to last. Long after wood rots, long after clay crumbles, long after civilizations vanish, stone remains. Stone does not forget. Then there are the structures that defy even the most advanced interpretations. Take Puma Punku, a site where stones are carved with laser-like precision, featuring perfect 90-degree angles, smooth surfaces, and geometric cuts so accurate that engineers still debate how they were made with tools supposedly no more advanced than stone hammers. Or Sacsayhuaman, where enormous stones are fitted together with such accuracy that you cannot slide a razor blade between them, and yet not a single drop of mortar was used. Earthquakes shake cities to the ground, But these walls remain standing, untouched, unbroken, unbothered. Some researchers believe the secret lies in techniques now lost: ancient formulas for softening stone, early forms of vibration-based cutting, forgotten engineering practices passed down through ritual rather than writing. Others believe these structures were meant to interact with the Earth itself, aligned with magnetic fields, solar winds, and cosmic events. Whether or not these theories hold truth, one thing is undeniable: these monuments were built with a level of knowledge we still don't fully understand. And then comes the biggest question of all: why do so many of these structures appear across the world, built by civilizations that never met, never traded, never shared ideas? Why do cultures separated by oceans share the same obsession with aligning stone monuments to the stars, the solstices, and the heavens? Why the same shapes, same patterns, same architectural logic, appearing in different eras on different continents? Coincidence? Shared inspiration? A universal human instinct to reach upward, toward the sky, toward meaning, toward the unknown? Or were ancient civilizations observing something greater, something cosmic, something we've forgotten? As our journey through these megalithic mysteries unfolds, one truth becomes clear: ancient people were not primitive. They were extraordinary. They observed, calculated, experimented, and built with a purpose: to create structures that would outlast time itself. They did not rely on machines. They relied on ingenuity, unity, and centuries of accumulated knowledge. So when you look at a megalithic site today, whether it's a temple, a stone circle, a colossal pyramid, or a complex of interlocking walls, you are not just looking at rocks. You are looking at a message. A message carved into the earth, saying, "We were here. We understood more than you think. We knew how to turn stone into legacy." And perhaps the most astonishing part? We are still trying to catch up. So here's my question to you. Which megalithic site do you think hides the greatest mystery, and why? Tell me your theory. And don't forget to share the video and subscribe to the Unscripted show for more incredible wonders uncovered.